Good morning, everyone. My name is Paul. I'm from ReadyForStartups, and we're organizing this track today at Code Camp. And I'd like to thank Code Camp, and I'd like to thank our partners, cluj-napoca, for helping us put all this together. So what you're going to see here today is a lineup of startup-related talks, some pitches, even a panel on stage. You're going to see a lot of interesting presentations. I invite you to stick around all day. We're definitely going to have something interesting in each session for you. Now, the first session of the day is actually one of our three signature events called PitchIT. PitchIT is part of our signature events. As I said, the second one is Breaking a Startup, which will end the day from 5 p.m. today. And the third is INIT, which stands for Industry and IT Coming Together. Now, for the first event of the day, which is PitchIT, we're going to hear three amazing startups on stage pitching their awesome ideas. They'd like to get your feedback. They all have something they're going to ask from you at the end of their presentation. And they all need encouragement, so I'd like you to put on big smiles. I'd like you to be supportive. Please, no frowny faces. I know it's early in the morning. So yeah, okay, I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to invite on stage Wello. Sorry, not Wello. I'm going to invite on stage Dory. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to invite on stage Dory, who's going to tell us how they're going to change the way we travel and the way we stay at hotels like forever. And if you travel and if you stay at hotels, you probably think, okay, forever?
I can switch to other startup.
No. Everybody pitches their own startup.
Ready?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so hi everybody. I know that everybody is kind of sleepy, so am I. So sorry for my bad English this morning. I'm Anca. I'm not Dory. My name is Anca. And my platform is Dory. As Paul said, what we are looking today, here and generally, is to change the way people travel, but not to invent something like I don't know, like a supercar, but actually to improve their experience, to make them like actually love to stay at hotels. Some people love to stay in bed and breakfast. Some people love to stay in hostels. Other people just want to rent an apartment to get rid of having to deal with obnoxious, sometimes hotel staff. And this is where we enter into the scene. And basically, this is our mission, to make hotels feel like home. And we do not sell bathrobes. Sorry. Okay, so my product, it's actually a platform. It consists of 3 modules. One, it's an app for you, for the traveler, in order to tell a little bit more about themselves, about their wishes, about preferences, so that we can learn and to be able to express these wishes and preferences to any hotel you go. Let's consider it is like your personal travel assistant. And yeah, and the name is Dory, so you won't be able to change it to another day, to another name if you don't like it. Okay, so generally we have this app for the guests, but we also have for hotel staff, because basically they are the ones responsible in any hotel to screw up or improve your experience there. We also have an AI module, which is responsible for learning about you and to help both you and the hotel staff in delivering that unique experience. We also have a control panel in which we offer statistics, reports, and ways for hotels to improve their services. The product, like I said, is based on an algorithm or an AI algorithm, an AI assistant, which we are currently working to improve in order to capture those individual traits of each person. This is my team of people that worked on this product, and together we managed to get an MVP out. We managed to went to some hotels and test our solution. they did not kick us out, so this is a start. Some hotels really, they wanted to pay for the solution, so this is a better start. And we actually got a prize in Dubai Food Tourism Competition last year in October, which was definitely a big surprise and a big support for us. As any startup, we want to improve, stabilize our product, extend and expand. And we are here today because we are looking for talented people that love working with the technologies that we are using here, and also that want to be part of a startup. And I'm here if you have any questions and, I don't know, any suggestion, feedback, good or bad. You can throw some tomatoes out of me. I don't know if you have tomatoes, if you don't like the solution, but here I am. So please tell me your questions. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. So what are the questions that you'd like to ask Dori and Anca, who's not Dori?
Okay. I changed my name.
How is the process of selling to hotels? What is the reaction? How much it takes to actually transform them into clients?
That's a really good one. It takes some time to go, but we are in the beginning. We are in a pilot phase. So my start was here not to go to as many hotels as possible, but I wanted to select a few of them, 2 or 3, so I can become friends with them, learn about their problems, and adapt my solution to their needs. So basically, this is the way we started. I could have gone to 100 hotels. I have like 1,000 contacts, but we wanted to actually do something and to not simply sell a product. Any other? Yeah.
What are the criteria when you select a hotel to approach with your application? So what are the main points that you want them to see in your application?
Okay, so what I selected first was some hotel that has a lot of flow and has people with different backgrounds, because it helps me get users, and it helps me with the data that I need. So I wanted to, in the beginning, to go to hotels that have people from different backgrounds, usually a 4 or 5 stars hotel, because they offer more services, they are more demanding people, and so on. So this is where we started. And of course, we started here in Cluj because it was easier for us to actually go there and to speak and to test our products better.
Any hotels here in Cluj that are on your portfolio of applications?
Yes,
Can you give us?
We are present in Hotel Beyfin, cluj-napoca, and we are currently in the process of being installed in several other hotels. I don't know if it's okay to tell them their name yet until we actually sign the contract. Yeah. For the customer, you mean the clients, the users? Okay. Yeah. Well, basically, what our app does, it asks sorry, I do a comparison here with Tinder, and like I'm asking some questions about you, and I'm trying to learn about each person, and also I'm asking like booking guests, like what room you prefer, if you are a smoker, if you like these typical questions. But additionally, we also want to learn more about each person, and what we do for you is we at every hotel you go, we send them all this like profiling of you. Of course, we don't send them all the information, but we send them that information that is important, so you can feel nicer, more welcome at the hotel. For example, what is your name? Radu. Okay, Radu, you are a more introvert person. You don't like to speak with a lot of people, so we give them a heads up, and when you go there, the employees will not bother you, and will try to keep a certain distance to you. Or you like, I don't know, you like gummy bears, they will put gummy bears in your room. You like, you are allergic to something, they will make sure not to have that. So And although like you can tell them like booking asks you this time, like every time, but they don't keep a track of this. And it happened to me when I travel for business. Every time either I was going to the same hotel like every 2 weeks. They never remember my name, my wishes, and sometimes like even few days apart. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? I was just like here like a few days ago. You don't remember me, you know?" And this is annoying. Yeah.
Based on what you presented, it seems like a very, very client-oriented product, right? And how do you imagine the marketing? So how do the people will know about it?
About the market?
About your product.
Sorry, I don't understand like, about the...
How do you get into the market? How do you manage the marketing of it?
How do I manage to bring the product to the market? Okay. So basically what we do here, it's like a chicken or the egg strategy. We focus first on hotels, and we focus on their database of guests. They already have a lot of contacts and a lot of people. And we present through the hotel, we present to the guests. And additionally, we will start a campaign separately for guests with some virus and with some marketing focused on the individual.
Okay, we have one more question here.
Sure.
So you're collecting a lot of data. How did you handle the legal part? Because you're collecting data about each individual who's using
yeah, well,
the app.
I'm not collecting bank account information. I'm not collecting like let's say sensitive information, or at least not yet. We are just trying to collect some hobby, some feedback. So we do not retain certain information, but we are focused on being compliant with the regulation. We know about the regulation, and we have this in this stipulated, so the users can delete the product. They can choose not to offer us this information. And we explain them really clearly what will be sent to the hotel or what will be not sent to the hotel.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to move on to the next startup. Thank you very much, Anca. Good luck with Dori. Good luck changing our experiences at hotels. So our next startup is going to teach us about learning. Who here likes to learn stuff? Who in the audience is a technical person? Developers and such? Okay. Now, you're all going to connect to this in some way, okay? Wait for it. So, I'm going to ask Bianca from Wellco to join us. A big round of applause, everyone.
Hello. I'm here because we want to change the experience of children learning how to code. I guess many of you, those who already know how to code, have had some kind of bad experience in school, maybe. I can guess some of you, at least, and we're trying to change that. So we designed WellCode, which is a platform where people can learn to code. But what's different from other platforms that teach you how to code is that we are more focused on teaching problem solving instead of just syntax. So how to approach a problem, how to figure out the steps, and also how to figure out what's wrong and such things. So is it like okay? Okay, now it works. So I tried to outline some features that I think are important for being a good software engineer, and I guess it's not a complete list, or you can correct me, but some of the features which I think are most important is ability to focus on the task at hand and not get distracted, and in that way you can solve a problem in 4 hours instead of 1 week. And also be able to pay attention to the edge cases and such things. Then ability to structure your code in such a way that it's readable by others, and I mean it makes sense to you on long term. then being able to adapt to new frameworks and being able to adapt to changes in the problem statement and such things. And last but not least, being able to communicate with your team. Or being able to, even if you work on your own, you need to ask questions sometimes because you're not going to know everything. So you enter Stack Overflow and ask a question, and usually you're not taught that kind of things on other platforms. So how we're trying to accomplish each of those is first we have the way it works is you're given a text to read, which is pretty short, and you need to understand very clearly how stuff works in order to move on. So we have quizzes that have multiple correct answers, and you need to really pay attention in order to get it. And if you don't get it, you need to ask questions, which is the last point there. We don't allow users to post source code, or we don't allow users to post source code. They need to explain what they did and how they thought about the solution, and then we're only giving them hints to solve it. So they are developing their mind in this way, and their structured thinking. And the third point over there, we're taking a pretty different approach to other platforms because, as I said, they're more focused on teaching the syntax of the language and not teaching you the way to approach a problem. And adaptability is basically that one, to be able to adapt to changes. And we're teaching C++, which is very different from Python or JavaScript. I mean, it's different in the sense that it could be more difficult to learn for a beginner, but then if you do know it, then you'll be able to learn a lot of new things afterwards. I'm making a parallel with school. You can see here a very boring classroom. And because in school you don't really learn how what you're learning applies to real life, and we're trying to change that. Like if the user finds out how he can use an array, he would also find out where he could use it, or imagine some cases where it would be useful. For example, in storing a list of Facebook posts in the front end. And I'm wondering if you were to be a parent, where would you like your kid to be? Standing in this classroom, or staying for hours instead of his computer because he's very focused on the problem and trying to find a solution, and then coming up to the dinner table with his laptop because he just managed to solve it. We've launched in September, and we have now 22,000 users. Since last week we've grown by 1,000 or so, and we appeared on national television, and lots of users started learning. We had like 1,000 learning per week, and now we just closed the partnership with Bosch, who's going to offer some subscriptions for several users who are willing to learn more. So the way it works is we have 2 stages. It's a freemium model, and the first part is free, and then the second part is more advanced. You need to pay for it. Okay, thank you. And we are the founders. We've done several internships and have some teaching experience, and we are trying to find some people who are also passionate about this and want to change the education system and help the kids. So thank you, and looking forward to hear your questions.
All right. Are there any questions? Are there no questions? Oh, come on. There have to be questions. And she's saying she's going to change the way your kids learn programming, and you're all programmers. How can you not have questions?
Hi. So your platform is basically teaching you algorithmics, or they teaching you a specific programming language like C or PHP or Java?
It's teaching you algorithmics. In the beginning, it's very easy algorithms. Like in the beginning, you're not supposed to know anything, so it's just like, I don't know, printing something, or this isn't an algorithm, but we go until binary search, nothing too complicated, but we're trying to make them realize what are the steps for coming up with the solution, so that they are able to solve new problems and not only reproduce what they learn. And yeah, we are using a programming language for that. We're using C++ for the first module, and we might add different languages, but not as a purpose in itself, but as a means to an end.
Okay, so at some point you think you might add something that will also apply to the real-life programming, like
like object-oriented, or
basically something that a company that does IT might use from your users.
Yeah, I mean, after they finish the first module, they can easily learn JavaScript, for example, because it's pretty. I mean, we tried to show them how they can adapt after they finish the module, so that they are able to learn a new language. I'm not sure if we've managed to do that yet, because we're just we have like 300 users who finished only the first module, which is only the basics up until matrices and arrays and such. So we're not sure yet how they'll be able to adapt, but we're trying to teach them how to learn a new language afterwards.
Okay, let's take the next one. Okay, we have one here.
Hi. So my question would be, after they finish both modules, how far along would you say they would be compared to like a schooling program? Like, would you say their programming level would be somewhere along the lines of 12th grade, or lower, or above that?
Yeah, the second module, which is more advanced, covers all the school curriculum. So it's called BAC module. So it teaches you all that you need to know to successfully pass the baccalaureate exam. So it's basically the whole school curriculum. But I guess they should be able to know more than what they usually learn in school, because in school you don't. I mean, I had to relearn backtracking in school after learning it in school, because I didn't really get it in the first take.
There's another question here, and then I'm going to come back to you.
Maybe I didn't get it. Can you clarify how is it with the active users?
Oh, yeah.
Like the people who are actually going after they log in. I mean, how many times do they come back, and how many lessons do they go through?
Well, the first lesson was solved by, I think, 14,000 users, and then users get, it drops, but at the last lesson in the module, it's like 300 users, and then in the middle, it's like 8,000. No, 2,000 in the middle of the module. So some of the users take more time to solve a problem, and we have like 200 users trying to solve one of the problems, and then they advance. But it can take several days, but we've got emails from them saying, oh, I just managed to figure out the solution, and thank you for, because I didn't really pay attention to what was the precedence.
Okay, and the next question was here, I think.
So my question was pretty much the same. What's your retention rate? I mean, how many of the users actually go far to pay you for doing that? And what's your strategy? Why would I, like, after completing this trial, why would I pay you to offer me stuff that I can pretty much find free on the internet, maybe with, I don't know, half an hour of more work?
Well,
but it's
you
free.
can find free stuff on the internet, because I assume you already know how to code. I mean,
yeah, okay, but even when I didn't know, because I'm first year at the college, so even when I didn't know, I started on my own on the internet, searching and such. It is a little more work to do, but I mean.
Yes, I mean, if you're a free spirit and you like browsing online and searching for information, that's fine. I mean, we don't. We offer an easier way to find information, and also a more structured way, and also, as I said, you can search on the internet and find how to write a for loop or such things like that, but you'll need to search more to find, I don't know,
It's basically more structured, so I can find it's
Yeah.
centralized, basically. Okay, thanks.
Okay. One. Guys, you'll just have to take turns.
Does your platform also offer interactivity? And if so, how do you help your visitors solve the problems that you're offering them? Do you have hints or something like that? And how advanced are those hints?
For now, we're offering hints in the comment section. I personally reply, and some members of the team personally reply to them, and also some other users reply. We have on the main page something like a news feed with comments, and users can see the recent comments and reply to those that they know how to help. And we also have a frequently asked questions with the problems that users encounter more often, but it's usually more personalized, and we're trying to automate that in the future. But yeah, it's kind of interactive because we don't, for now, we don't want users to post all the source code and like on Stack Overflow, get the solution, a full solution from other users.
Okay, and the question here.
I got one more for you. And I was just wondering, because I'm trying to figure out where to place your project. Would you say it's in any way similar to the Euler project?
I don't know.
The Euler project is basically you have a couple hundred problems to solve, and they ascend in terms of difficulty.
Yeah, it's not only problems. We have some lessons, and then every other lesson there's also a problem to solve, and most of the lessons are followed by quizzes, so you're tested at every step of the way. Right. But you are also offered theory, not only problems to solve, so that you can learn.
All right, great, thanks.
Okay, I think that's the last one. We have to move on to the next startup. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, WellCode. Best of luck, guys. Okay, now you probably noticed I messed up on entering the first startup because I was trying to remember the order we had at the trials before this. So this time, for real, it's Wello.
Thanks for the introduction. My name is Dumitru, co-founder of Wello. Our project started from a personal story. My co-founder Svetoslav had some health issues and he needed to lose some weight. As an IT company, then we decided to launch a knee health project to investigate if there are any problems in families that we can resolve, that we can find and resolve. So we found this. 1 in 3 children in Europe between the ages of 6 and 9 are overweight or obese, and the number will go up. In this moment, we have over 41 million overweight kids in Europe, and the number will go up to 70 million. The total healthcare costs caused by obesity right now is over 10% of the total healthcare costs in Europe. So our problem is very clear. More and more children are getting obese at an early stage, and that is causing physical problems like diseases and emotional problems, integrating their schools and other problems. What are the causes of obesity? Everybody knows is the lack of activity, a bad nutrition that is in our community right now, fast food, a lot of sugar, and junk food. And the parents right now, they are unable to understand and educate their children and in a happy lifestyle. Okay, so our solution is a complete and centralized digital platform in nutrition, and that will help in nutrition and healthy lifestyle for the overweight kids and their families using artificial intelligence system. We think of a game in which the parents are challenging their kids in a fun way in order to learn about nutrition and healthy lifestyle using activities and games. We've also added the personal plan meals through our nutrition platform, and we have a tracking system in which after you get a lot of data from the users, you can get more and more personalized and get a lot of activities for your family. Our business model is a freemium, and the customers will pay more if they want additional features. We think of early adopters as the families with overweight kids between the age of 7 to 14 years old, which is a big problem right now in Europe and USA. Our go-to-market strategy is partnership with influencers, nutritionists, attending to events in nutrition, social media awareness about the problem of obesity. And our distribution channels so far are in high schools, nutrition centers, and partnering up with food industry companies. We don't have any direct competition, but there are fitness and nutrition applications right now on the market. The most popular, everybody knows about MyFitnessPal. That's for adults and not for overweight kids and their families, and they are not engaging in an emotional any way with their customers. Our timeline, what we've achieved so far, we started the project last summer. We've received a grant of 1 million euros. We did market research and customer interviews. We've attended conferences. The last one was a pitch battle in Dubai. Our team is composed of 12 people. We have the dev team. We have a nutrition expert, which is the professional, which is Iulia Hădărean, that has the summer camp of the only summer camp of overweight kids here in Romania. We have Ciprian Pașca, the marketing advisor, and Mircea Vădan here with us as product advisor. We are launching the MVP product this summer alongside the summer camp for overweight kids from this year. And we are raising a 200,000 euros investment. Thank you for listening. At least one question.
Okay, hold on. There's questions everywhere now. I'm going to start here because it's closer. Then I'm coming over there.
Hey, how does the platform actually work? Do both parents and kids get it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time to present a mock-up for today to download and install on your phone. Basically, you introduce all your members of your family, and the application for the parent will present some information about nutrition. If you know Duolingo, it's an application that you learn English. This is what we want to do in nutrition, in which we teach the parents about nutrition stuff and activities and a healthy lifestyle for 5 minutes a day. Then for the children, we have games like pyramids, food pyramids, and so on, which nutritions are good or not, and we engage them together. After they read all the information, they can do activities together. They can either be physical activities in which they go to the park and they each get some points. They can be cooking activities in which you teach a kid how to cook something without too many carbs, for example. Or there can be games on the mobile in which you have some quizzes and you challenge your parents or your friends or your brothers and so on. So basically we are not fitness applications. We have social engagement between the parents and the child, but we also have tracking system through devices, and we track all the information from the parents to the kids, so the parents know more about the lifestyle of the child during the day.
Okay, one question related to the nutrition plans. I know that certain kids need certain types of food, like they cannot eat something, but they can
Yeah.
eat another thing. How do you fix that?
Our nutrition expert Julia Hadoran created some kind of food allergies where you can, when we are entering the members of the family in the application, you get a lot of, you get some questions on the food allergies that you have. And the system, alongside her advices, using artificial intelligence, will detect that you have a problem or you have a food allergy, and it will not recommend you any foods that are bad to you.
Okay. Next question is here.
My question for you is on technical side. What kind of sensors do you use on your mobile device?
So far, for our, we've decided to stick to the smartwatches that we have on our hands all the time, and we are working on some other devices to build in the future, but that will be like at least 1 year or two. Right now, it's only the smartwatches that we have on the hand, and the mobile phones. I can't hear you, sorry.
So the child would have to wear a smartwatch for the application to work?
It can wear like My Fit, if you know it. My Fit is a small wristband that can track all the action that you have on the day, physical activities. And also, in the future, we want to prepare the child as well to enter his habits. Maybe he wants to enter what he ate today, so her mother knows what to cook for him that day.
Other questions? Follow-up questions.
Okay.
Actually, this is a different question. I see that you only have one nutrition expert.
This is the first one that we are testing the MVP. Right now we are in talks with other two guys, two persons, and we plan to have at least 10 of them in the future.
Would you also have external contributors? Like, would you ask nutritionists to contribute to your application to offer advice?
Well, our idea from the start was to create a community in which members of the community can have a lot of information that are coming either from the nutritionist and either from experts, and the experts will be able to add new information in the system, in our community.
Okay. Considering that we are talking here about children that are under development constantly, how would you say that you accept the advice from a nutritionist, and who can say, you know what, this is not a good advice for a child that's growing?
Yeah, that's a good question. What we are thinking to do is that our artificial intelligence would take advices from 3 or 4 nutritionists and then decide which one is better. And after, for example, you as a nutritionist, you give a bad call, you will not be able for that child to provide any more meal plans, for example. So that's the artificial intelligence system that we want to build.
Who's next? Any more questions? Because if not, I have a question myself. I'm the father of a 1-year-old, so I'm curious, how would I use your product? Like you said, you're going to launch in summer.
You as a parent, you have the ability to understand the nutrition and how to live a healthy lifestyle for you. And when the child can understand mobile devices, like around the 7 years old, he will be able as well to use it. But right now, after we've done some research, we found out that this information about 1-year child and to 5 years, parents already know from the internet. So there is no point to try and market them, because they already have all the information over the internet or over the Facebook groups and so on. And regarding the 1-year age, is that only after 6 years old, the child realizes that he's overweight, that he has problems integrating in the society, and then he's not himself anymore.
Okay, so your main target are families with children above 5 years old.
Yeah, I already said that earlier adopters, 7 years to 14, something.
Okay,
something
okay, but
in
the
that
reason
range.
makes way more sense now that you explained it, why that is.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And how will the consumers learn about the product? Will you do marketing, or are you going through influencers?
Well, we found a lot of influencers that that want to work with us, and we plan to launch some events at school. I have a relation on Livru Rebreanu School here in Cluj, and we want to do some nutrition sessions, workshops, and raise awareness of obesity here in Cluj and then all over the world.
Okay. Are there any more questions? No? Okay, thank you very much. Thanks. And best of luck changing the way kids eat. Okay, everyone, hold on just a second. Don't run away. We still have 2 more minutes before you can run away. I wanted to ask you, first of all, that you approach the pitchers today and ask them about their product one-on-one. If you have any more questions, they all needed something from the people in the audience, even if it's just feedback. So we've got Dumitru over there, Bianca over here, and Anca over there. So it's like a triangle over here. So if you just come towards this part of the room, you can find one of them. So again, give them feedback, be helpful. Second, for those of you who are interested in the legal part of things, which is very, very ugly and sucky, and nobody likes it, and it costs a lot of money, you can stay for the next talk. We're going to have Forbes 30 Under 30. She's a lawyer. She's the startup founder, and she will be talking about the early steps that you can take when actually starting a startup so that you're protected, your colleagues are protected, and I'm just going to say if, but it's actually when bad things happen, it's going to be, let's say, a less painful breakup, okay? So thank you very much. Thank you for attending, and have a great rest of the day.